We continue our reading of Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus, an invitation to spend a year with your best friend, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, August 17, parable number 4, working while waiting and watching. For it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted to them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now after a long time the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. Matthew 25:14-19. The parable of the talents, in common with the 3 preceding parables, continues to emphasize being ready for the master's return, but it begins to answer a question previously not addressed. What is readiness? The storyline is quite simple. A man, Christ, goes away and gives each of his servants talents, large amounts of money. The first 2 put their talents to work and increase their master's investment, while the third merely buries it in the ground for safekeeping. But the master desires more than security from his investment. He expects the servants to use the talents to make a profit. That becomes evident when, after a long time, he returns for an accounting to determine the faithfulness of his servants in his absence. In the judgment scene that follows, he rewards the 2 servants who have been faithful, but he punishes the one who has done nothing. Matthew 25:24-30. The lesson is clear. Readiness for the return of Christ does not mean passivity or passively waiting for the event. Rather, readiness is responsible activity that produces results that the master can see and approve of. We can also learn from this parable that God does not expect the same results from everybody. Christians have varying levels of ability, but it is not the amount of a person's ability that he evaluates in the judgment, but whether he or she has employed the full range of abilities that God has given them. Another lesson from the parable is that the Lord rewards faithful people with even greater responsibility rather than with a pension. Greatness based on service, see Matthew 20:26-28, will continue in the age to come. It is an eternal principle of the kingdom of heaven. The book Education captures the concept nicely when it notes that true education prepares the student for the joy of service in this world and for the higher joy of wider service in the world to come. Page 13. This concludes our reading today of Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus.